Welcome to FBB Forum. If you like this content, please be sure to like or subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow my Instagram page. I'm very pleased to welcome the beautiful IFBB Women's Physique Pro, Vicky Tackett, to the podcast. Vicky started competing back in 1998 when she won the Teen Nationals. And you said you took a break, right? How long of a break did you?
Oh goodness, probably I'm gonna say 15 years.
15 years. Wow. Very cool. Um, and she earned her pro card at the NPC Masters Nationals in 2018 and just competed this past weekend at the Optimum Pro in Shreveport. She's also married and is an amazing muscle mama of twin girls. Stay tuned to find out what she's up to next and where she'll compete next. But welcome, Vicky. It's great to have you here.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you. I just had an interview with another competitor from Optimum. It was Luciana Esquilin. And so it's really great to talk with her too.
Absolutely.
Now, I was curious in terms of getting started in bodybuilding, and you obviously got started really young. Did you have an athletic or a sports background before you started?
I actually did. I did gymnastics growing up. I was very competitive and I had a scholarship, but we couldn't afford for me to compete, going to college with a scholarship even. So I needed something else to do. And so I actually got a job at a gym
Mm,
here local in Orange. And the owner of the gym kind of saw potential and he was like, I want to show you working out basically. So he basically showed me how to work out and kind of help people and stuff. And then I was hooked.
that's very cool. That's awesome. What age were you when you started working out and
so,
stuff? Or
so that I was 18.
18? Wow.
I
And
started
that,
working out and then I was like 6 months literally working out. And then I did just a little local show.
how old were you when you got the teen nationals? Were you 18 at that time?
I was 19.
Oh, really? Wow, that's so cool. That's awesome. Wow. Um, Now I was curious who kind of convinced you to do your first contest?
His name is actually Mark Bland, and he was the owner of the gym.
Okay.
He was a power lifter and worked out, and he just said, I think you would do really good. I think you have a physique." So he was actually sponsoring the local show, and so he got me in to do that local show. I did it that year and won. Then I did the following year, the same show, won again, and it qualified me to go to uh, the Teen Nationals, which was in Houston, I think, at the time. The
Yeah.
following year, and so I just only been working out a little over a year or year and a half.
Wow. And I mean, female bodybuilding was still relatively new at that time. Did you get any pushback from your folks about it being in a bikini up on stage kind of thing?
Believe it or not, no, they were really excited, very supportive.
Really? That's terrific. Yeah,
They were.
that's very cool. I was curious, do you have a fitness role model or did you back in the day?
Back in the day, it was like I loved Sharon Bruno and of course Corey Everson.
Oh yeah, they're both amazing. Yeah, Sharon Bruneau, man, she was stunning, really amazing.
Yes, she was kind of short like me,
Oh, was she
but
short?
beautiful. I thought she was shorter.
Wow. Yeah,
Beautiful, yeah.
she is. Yeah, she has such a great structure and physique. Yeah, and just yeah, very pretty too. Um, Now I was curious when you did do your first show, was it back in 98? I mean, 1988. Was it tough to get up on stage in a bikini? Was it kind of nerve-wracking?
Oh, very much so, and I mean, it is even still is now. I guess I'm not a showy person, I guess, whatever. So yes, I was so nervous. I was like, okay, I can't look at anybody. I have to just look at the lights.
Oh yeah, at least the lights are bright too. You don't necessarily have to see the audience.
That's right. I don't want to see faces. I just want to see lights. Pretend no one's looking at you.
Oh yeah, I understand. And your parents came and rooted for you and everything too?
They absolutely, absolutely.
That's terrific. That's really cool. That's great. Um, uh, I was curious, what was your experience like at the Optimum, and did you enjoy the show? And seemed like the Iron Sisterhood was pretty strong there in terms of camaraderie and such?
Yes, I had met some of the ladies before, but I mean, yes, that was my favorite part is just meeting new ladies, um, and sharing everything with them. I thought, like I said, I really thought it was ran really well from start to finish. Like I said, I know in the night show that has waiting a little bit, and that was a little bit more difficult. But my overall experience was it was great. I mean, I thought the setup was beautiful, the stage and everything. So
Is that your first time competing at Shreveport?
yes, yes, it was my first time.
Cool. Yeah. And you said you're not too far away, like 3.5 hours or so.
Yes, like 3.5 hours. So it was a easy, quick drive, and we were able, of course, bring everything. It just made it a whole lot easier.
That's terrific. That's great. Yeah. That's very cool. Now, do you have an idea of where you would want to compete next?
Um, no, because I'm kind of going back and forth. I wish when I competed last year with the Texas Pro, I really tried to get feedback from the judges, which I did not. And the same here. Um, I haven't quite figured out how to go about that as well. I've heard some ladies got to get it like after competition, but just with my placing and everything, I feel like that I am on the bigger side of women's physique, pushing
Mhm.
into the bodybuilding, but I'm not as big as I feel like I'm kind of like in a uh, middle realm, I guess, or out there. I think I'm too big for physique, but not quite big enough for bodybuilding, if kind of thing. So
Yeah,
I'm
I
kind of
understand.
contemplating maybe doing competing in bodybuilding next and just see.
That's a good idea. No, it's worth a try. Definitely. Yeah. I can see
It's
you
just
doing
just
well there too.
just after with looking at everything, everybody has such longer, leaner muscles, even though, like I said, my conditioning was not where I wanted it to be,
Hmm.
just not understanding where they place me, even with that, because of I do have so much muscle. So I'm thinking that's the only thing that made sense was that I think that I'm just too big.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah. No, I think that would be good though to try a bodybuilding show. I think it would be worth it, worth your time. And
I,
yeah,
I think so too. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards.
sure. No, I totally understand that. I think that makes sense. Um, now, in terms of your pro card, remind me where you got your pro card again?
Masters Nationals.
And what year was that?
That was, let me think. What is was it? Um,
I think COVID's got everybody messed up there.
yes, I'm sitting here thinking, was it 2018, 2019? I'm sitting here trying to think. I'm gonna have to look at my phone.
Oh, no, no, that's no problem.
No, I'm trying to remember when did I do it. That's terrible.
Oh, no, no problem. I bet that was pretty.
2018. 2018. I had to think.
Oh, very cool. No, that's great. So that basically was like 30 years after you started competing. That's some longevity right there.
That's a long time. Like I said, I was like, well, can I do it? I can do it. So I was like, I'm gonna get my old butt back in shape and see what I can do.
That's kind of like Michelle Brent did a similar kind of thing where she got her pro card like 30 years later, I think. And yeah,
Yes, I follow her. Yes, absolutely.
yeah, she's amazing. And I remember her on TV back on ESPN years ago, competing, and she always looked great. So yeah. Um,
Absolutely.
Now what, in terms of earning your pro card, that must have been really exciting for you. What was the experience like?
That was best ever for sure. Nerve-wracking, but the same thing, backstage, all the ladies, it was so well organized, I guess, or whatever, but, just I don't know, it was amazing. Like I said, I mean, I felt good, but still, you just don't know, but then once you're getting up there, um, it was like a dream, I guess, kinda, sorta.
Yeah, I bet. That must have been really exciting for you.
Very, very, very much so. I mean, I didn't expect to get my pro card, but when I did, I was like, "What's going on here? Okay, this is awesome."
Oh yeah, that must have been incredible for you.
It was very much so.
Did you have a good cheering section out there too for the show?
I did. My husband and my girls came, so it was wonderful.
That's very cool. That's awesome. I was curious with this most recent show at the Optimum, were you able to get any judge feedback? You talked a little bit about it before, but I didn't know if you had time or I think Susan Graham told me about she had to wait a while to get the feedback from the judges.
Okay, I guess that's the part that I guess I was confused about because I thought that somehow you could like talk personally with them, but my understanding is you have to submit something and pictures and different things. So I need to
Hmm.
see how I go about doing that.
Oh, really?
'Cause
Okay.
but I think somebody I saw had gotten feedback from the show already, and I don't know if they were able to speak to the judges in person, which I think that's what they should do. I mean, if you're going up
Yeah.
there, especially as a pro, I think they should take the time out and say, "Hey, talk to you personally," not, "Oh, let me submit a picture and this was me." And it's like, they didn't see you up on stage, so I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah. Have you sought judge feedback at other shows?
The same thing with the Texas Pro. I tried and didn't get any.
Really?
They're
Oh,
like, "Well,
no.
you can." Same thing. You can ask for it later, and I'm like, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
So
I know. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I agree. Yeah, no,
that's kind of part of it. It's like, hey, what did you like? What did you not like? Suggestions. That's what it's all about.
yeah, yeah. I don't know that after you do a show, do they ever send out like a athlete survey?
I have yet to have one.
Really? That kind of would make sense, I think, don't you think?
I think so. That would be very, very helpful, I think.
Yeah, because that way they could know about your experience and where they can improve. And uh,
Absolutely.
maybe we should lobby for that. That makes sense, I think.
I think so. I think they should have some kind of, I mean, and it wouldn't take that long. I think some kind of time for the athletes to be able to speak with the judges, especially
Yeah.
on a pro level. Like, hey,
Hmm.
you know,
I agree. Yeah, they could just set aside some time after the show and or even
and
the
it
next,
wouldn't
it could be the next day too. I mean,
absolutely whatever. I just think it would benefit us so much.
yeah, I agree with you. No, I think that's important. Yeah. I was curious in terms of if there's any advice that you can provide to ladies that are seeking their pro card, and I know you have to be patient, you know.
Definitely have to be patient and just, I mean, keep working hard and try to get the feedback if you can and ask. I mean, anybody that you can, hey, what, different um professionals, if you have anybody that you feel like could help in that way, ask and don't
Sure.
give up.
Yeah,
Just
sure.
keep working hard. Absolutely.
That's great. Yeah, that's good advice, I think. Yeah. Because I know it takes a lot of hard work and dedication to be up on stage like that. And yeah, I agree. It's almost like the judges have like an office hours kind of thing where you can sit down and talk with them, I think.
Right.
And soon after the show, so you're fresh in their mind kind of thing, you know.
Right, when you're doing it after the fact, it's like they've gone home and that, and it's like, are they gonna remember you? Are they not gonna remember you? Kind of
Hmm.
thing. I just don't agree with that. I think they should do it when you come off stage or shortly after, like I said, at most the next day. I think they should set time to, give you something.
Sure. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I think that's true. I was curious what has been your favorite bodybuilding show so far?
I mean, like anyone ever
Yeah.
that I've done, I'm gonna have to say Masters Nationals.
Yeah, getting that pro card. Aha.
Pro card and just the whole, I mean, I guess it was so many people in one spot. Um, Seeing a lot of people that I recognize and that you idolize and stuff there. I guess just the whole atmosphere. It was awesome.
Very cool. That's awesome. Yeah, it sounds like I'd like to go to that show. I haven't been to it before, but there's always a ton of competitors. It's always impressive.
There's so many competitors and just booths and people. Yeah, and just you get to see so much. With all the different age groups and categories and stuff. Um, yeah,
That's good.
definitely experience.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, very cool. I bet also there's probably are there some pros out in the audience too, I imagine, that you can see.
Yes, yes. Like I said, there's people you're just like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
Oh, that's
Where you're like,
awesome.
okay, who's that? Who's that? So that was just really, yeah, really, really neat.
Yeah, you're probably fangirling out there, I bet. Yeah.
Yes, very much so.
That's awesome. One thing I was curious, it was on my questions list, but just did you mention before we talked, it sounded like somebody recognized you from your teen competing days, but does that happen very often to you, or do you that people recognize you from back then?
No, not he was the first one, and I was kind of surprised. I was like, because of course my name's not the same, and I was like, he was like, I saw that name, and I thought that might be you, and I was like, how did you know it was me?
Uh, that's cool. I could see where they might recognize you from your face and that stuff. So yeah, that's awesome. Um, Now you said you don't have a prep coach right now. Is that correct?
Correct. I've never had a prep coach. Never had a prep coach. Just me
But
and my husband.
that's cool. But you talked about maybe wanting to get one for getting up to the next level and stuff, huh?
Correct, correct. We've done really, really well, but once you get to this level, um, I think it's necessary just to help have another eye and more knowledge. It's so changed from, of course, when we did it back in the day. Um, you're in so much you're in. I mean, conditioning is um, so much more extreme. I guess for no other better way to put it, just having to be in such better conditioning and everything, and to get there, you need help.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I think it's good to have somebody kind of impartial
Absolutely,
that can
absolutely, to tell you, "Okay, let's get your butt in gear. What do you need? You need to do this." Okay.
uh-huh. Somebody like a yeah, a little drill sergeant action, like, yeah.
That's right. My husband tells me to do it. No, I'm not gonna do that. I don't wanna do it.
No, I understand.
But I
Yeah,
don't wanna.
no. Do you have a opposing coach?
No posing coach either.
No? Would you hire opposing coach too, do you think? Or
I think so. I think I would like to same thing. I've had, some people help, but I think that would definitely benefit me as well. So I don't know if they can I don't know if there's a prep coach that would do both, but for sure, I think I would look to both.
is it true like back in the 80s when you were competing, I guess I mean there just wasn't as much of a coaching culture back then, right?
Correct. That's what old school, we didn't have that. It was all on our own. You tanned yourself, you did everything. So that's what I'm used to old school,
Yeah,
basically.
sure.
Yeah. And now everybody has every, yeah, you have a posing coach, your prep coach. Yeah,
The problem with that though is it can get expensive too, having all these coaches.
that is another factor for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Definitely.
I know.
Definitely.
Yeah, they can get you. So you gotta be careful. Um,
Yes. That sticker shock might get me. I'll be like, "Well, maybe I don't need a prep coach."
I know. Yeah, you gotta watch out for that. Yeah, be careful. I was curious what would you say is the most challenging aspect of competition prep for you?
Um, I think managing it with, I guess, every day, feeling like I wanna make sure that I do enough, but then you're trying to, like, still enjoy life, and, like, you wanna go to the beach for the weekend with your family or here, there. I know last year, I went on vacation during a prep, and we had to find a gym, and I'm going to the store and making sure that I have all my stuff, just managing all that and going, my goodness, I just want to have fun, and I don't want to count my calories, and I don't want to count my macros.
I got you. I understand.
A little tough. Then you feel like, okay, well, should I be doing this? Is this okay?
I totally understand that. I could see vacation. Yeah, when you're supposed to relax, that would be tough, I think.
Yes, and you're like, okay, well, I can't because I've got to make sure that I'm getting everything done and in, and just thinking, okay, well, is this going to affect me in the show?
I got you. I totally understand that. Um, I even, you know, I think, friendships are lost with competitors just because you're not going out partying and they don't necessarily understand why. And that's, that sort of thing.
Absolutely, because it's such a yes, because you're talking, I've always started at least 20 weeks out, so you're talking, you know, 5 months, um, that you're just serious, and so it cuts into a lot of things, and people just don't understand. They're like, "Oh, you can't go because you're," and so, yeah. You're like, "Well,
Yeah, I got you. I understand that. Yeah, that can be kind of tough. I was curious, um, in terms of looking for a good coach, but I was thinking you haven't necessarily had a coach before, so I don't know if that's a good question for you. But in terms of advice you could give to ladies that are looking for a good coach.
that's a tough one, that they have good communication, that they get, sometimes I've heard, um, like people, which I know this is, definitely different, but some of them, like we have some around here that are local that think they're coaches and they're not. They kind of do the same meal plan, same prep for everybody kind of thing. You want to make sure that they um, can figure you out, help get you, listen to you, be in communication with you regularly, which that's kind of tough. And if you're and maybe uh, once you get with them and you're not feeling like they're understanding you or you're just kind of not syncing, I guess don't waste your time or their time. You may have to, go through a couple till you find a good fit kind of thing is what I'm thinking. I've heard that from other women a little bit.
Yeah, I understand that. I think that's good. And now that you're looking for a coach, potentially you're going to try to get some suggestions from folks or that are also pros.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Hmm. Yeah, that's good advice though. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people who think they're coaches and aren't because they just think they're a coach because they won a show but they don't really have the experience or the necessarily know what they're
Exactly.
doing.
Oh, yeah, you want somebody with experience that can work with different people, not just, not just a man, or not just a bikini somebody. You want somebody that can truly work with everybody and knows how to get you there, get you into shape.
Yeah, that's good advice. I like that. Yeah. And I know you talked about being in Orange, Texas, so you're near the Texas-Louisiana border, near the coast.
Yes.
And
Yes.
do you have a supportive bodybuilding community there, or how big of an area is that? Like that the city?
That's a good question. I know we're small right here in Orange. We're not very big.
Hmm.
There's a few other ladies that are in Beaumont, which is
Hmm.
like 30 minutes from here. But right here in Orange, I'm pretty much it.
Really?
But I
Yeah.
mean, we have our gym is a little small gym. It's called Iron House. It's kind of more old school, hardcore. We have a couple other ones, but not really bodybuilders. It's just kind of people working out. But as far as bodybuilding, in our Beaumont and Orange, there might be 3 of us, I think, maybe.
Wow, that's small community, huh? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. Yeah. How about, are there many amateurs that you know of that are looking to compete in that area?
No, same thing. Like, it's
Huh. Wow,
just
that's very cool. Yeah. I was in terms of the town itself, do you find people are accepting of you as a bodybuilder, or do you have to deal with like some trolls or whatever? Or
no, actually people are, really supportive, especially at our gym. They'll just kind of they'll look or whatever. I'll catch them or they'll ask me questions like, "Hey, well, what about this?" or kind of ask advice sometimes. So it's kind of makes me feel good.
that's great. I was just curious because my interview with Luciana a little while ago, she said that she's gotten heckled in Fayetteville, North Carolina, out in public, and it's happened several times, and just some nasty people, and
Oh,
yeah.
wow. I can't say, I mean, I get looks and stares, of course, all the time, and people saying something, and when I was younger, I mean, maybe a little bit more kind of making fun of me, or I want to work out, but I don't want to look like you. Well, you're not going to look like me, trust me, because this is a lot of hard work
Yeah.
thing. But with being older lately, I haven't. Like, we'll go to the beach and stuff like that, and people will make comments, but it's very supportive, like, "Oh my gosh, you look amazing," or very nice. So
That's
lately,
great.
I haven't had to deal with that. So
That's terrific. I'm glad you got good feedback like that. That's really good. Now, I was curious, do you have a full-time job outside of bodybuilding?
I do. I'm an ultrasound tech.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
I do ultrasounds. I got a wonderful job now. I've been at this one, gosh, 6 years now, where I pull call for a little standalone emergency center.
Okay.
And basically, I'm on call for ultrasound, um, 24/7. Um, and I do like it's like I'm on like for 10 days in a row, and then I have a weekend off. And then
Okay.
I go like for 11 days, and I'll have like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and a Monday off. But I'm just on call. I work out, I do whatever I need to do. I get called to just do a patient, and I get to leave. So it's a blessing. And that's what allowed me to get back into working out and concentrate on this a lot more.
Is that tough though, being 24 hours on call? That because you could get called anytime, huh?
Um, it can be at times, but I mean, even if I'll get called at 2, 3, 4 in the morning, which sometimes now I'm older, it's hard to see. But
Mm.
you just get to go home and you rest, and I may not get called out, the rest of the day or two. It's just kind of I guess kind of like a hit or miss. Some weeks I'll get 7 or 8 calls. Some weeks I won't get any. It varies because we're not a very big town, which that's a blessing.
Yeah. So you don't get to work with like pregnant women so much though, as people that got injured and checking for injuries and such.
Correct, but I mean, I get a lot of early pregnancies.
Oh yeah. Okay, cool. That's cool. Yeah, I bet that would be neat to get to work with pregnant moms and show them the baby and everything. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes.
Now, I know that you have twin daughters, and I always thought that would be tough to be a muscle mama like that. How did you juggle being a mama with being a bodybuilder? And how old are your girls too?
They just turned 21.
Oh
So,
wow.
yes, and so that's kind of why once we had the kiddos, so for what, I guess 14 or something like that. Once they got into high school, just taking care of them and everything, I concentrated. But once they got to high school, is when I kind of started getting back into working out again to do my thing because yeah, just getting them taken care of in school and everything. Rough for a while, but I just had the two girls, and so that's all I knew. It's like I didn't know any better or any different.
Wow, that's so cool. I bet they're really proud of you too.
They are. They are. They started when I was starting to work out again. They actually a local friend has a home gym basically, and he helps a lot of the children in the area in the community do powerlifting, and he's amazing, amazing person.
Wow.
I got invited to his gym to work out there, and when I came, he knew that I had children, and he was like, "Well, hey, bring them in here and let them work out."
Okay.
And so we did, and that got them interested in powerlifting. So
Really? Wow.
they did powerlifting in high school, and they went to state. One of my daughters went to state every year, and the other one went, she just didn't go her freshman year, but one won state powerlifting, and then the other one was like third in state powerlifting. So they are working out and they love it.
That's terrific. Wow, that's so cool. I bet you're very proud of them.
Very proud of them.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Do you think they would pursue bodybuilding?
One, definitely not. The other one, she loves fitness. She loves CrossFit.
Yeah.
She's toyed a little bit with like bodybuilding, but I don't know.
Yeah. That's
They
curious.
love working out. She loves working out, but I don't know about the competition side of it.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. I think that's so cool that they did powerlifting. That's impressive. Um,
Yes.
Now I was curious, is your husband a bodybuilder too?
Not a bodybuilder, but he works out. We actually met in the gym. He loves working out. He's always um, followed all of the bodybuilders and magazines and stuff. So he loves that part of it.
Wow, that's cool. And what's his name?
His name is Kyle.
Kyle. Okay, very cool. That's awesome. Um, yeah, that I was curious about whether he competed as well. I bet he's really supportive, and he helps you with, or helps coach you too, it sounds like.
He absolutely does. Yeah, he helps me work. We work out together. He helps me with my workouts, with my meals, and um, anything I need, basically.
That's great. That's great.
He just said he takes the punishment. He heard me.
Oh, haha. Especially when you're hangry, you're like, you're barking
Yes,
up or
he gets
so.
a bunch of it.
That's cool. Yeah, that's just part of his job, you
That's right.
know.
That's part of his job.
Um, in on Instagram, it looked like your mom passed away recently. Is that correct?
It's been like 5 years. She
Oh,
did.
5 years. Yeah,
Yeah. She was anything I did, she was very supportive. But like I said, I'm gonna get sad. I'll never forget because that's when I won the teen nationals and they flew me places or whatever. She took me to Florida. That's what she took me to do my teen nationals. Or not, it was not teen nationals. It was New York when we were doing some photo shoots and stuff. And she basically did everything she could to get me there, took me there, and that's when we got to meet Linda and all that. And she was always so very supportive. I mean, like the best.
that's so sweet. That's great. Yeah, it's good that she was so supportive like that. I've talked to some ladies where their parents weren't so supportive, and it seems a little heartbreaking, I think, when you don't have your parents' support. So
Oh, absolutely, absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
no, that's great. And yeah, it's great that she um supported you early on like that when you were, 19 and 18 and 19. So um
Yes,
I just have a couple more questions for you. I was thinking, this is like a hypothetical question, but if you were in a leadership position with IFBB, what would you do to make the sport better and improve the sport of bodybuilding?
that's a tough one. I was thinking about that one. Um, to me, for the women's side of it, I guess it's kind of hard. To me, we don't get enough, I guess, exposure.
Hmm.
Uh, and it's hard. And I don't mean any disrespect to the other ladies, but especially for women's physique and bodybuilding, because we're just not, we're, I guess, I'm trying to think of the best way to say it. Yeah, we're like more of a minority. We're just more too much for some people. It's like it seems like in all the shows or even on, social media, they concentrate so much more on it's the big guys and then the bikini women and the other women. And like I said, it's like no disrespect, but that's not the bikini women, that's not bodybuilding. They're not
Yeah.
bodybuilding. It's so
Mhm.
different. And we just don't get enough. And so it makes it harder. And like, I guess, I don't know, like for people to understand, I guess, kind of. And we just don't get the exposure and stuff. And I don't know, I guess maybe we don't draw because we're different. I don't know if they're afraid that because that's more, I guess, more normal to get views and things like that. I'm guessing if I'm kind of saying that right.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. And I think, yeah, there's certainly the prize money is not there for bodybuilding, and except for Rising Phoenix, I suppose, for women's bodybuilding. But yeah, I just wish there was more prize money or could be more equally distributed. And yeah. And yet there's just
Yeah,
not that many opportunities too for y'all to compete,
there's
versus the
less.
Mhm.
Yes, there's less and less. Like we were speaking earlier, like because of the earlier shows in the year when they didn't have the competitors, not understanding why they didn't have competitors and they've already pulled one show. You
Mhm.
pull shows, we're limited. And then you move up to bodybuilding and you're less limited. I mean, you're even
Mhm.
more limited. You're just like, where can you compete? They're just not there. And they kind of wonder why that you're not getting the competitors where there's not enough shows and they're way off. And it just makes it hard. And you kind of feel like, okay,
I
makes
gotcha.
it hard. Yeah.
That does. Yeah, that makes it hard, I think, on y'all ladies. And yeah, the bodybuilding and physique are my favorite division. So and because you guys get to do the flex, and you guys, I mean, you are real bodybuilders. I know what you mean about bikini because I don't
It's
know.
no dis Yes, it's no disrespect, but I mean, like I said, I'm old school, and when we competed, it was bodybuilding. It was men's bodybuilding, women's bodybuilding. That's it. It
Yeah,
was one look, and that's it. And now the other struggle is like they don't know because with bodybuilding, ladies are bigger, but then women's physique, they don't know what look they want, and so they kind of
yeah,
waver with shows back and forth, and it makes it confusing for everybody and
yeah,
harder and frustrating. And even at the shows, it seems like they don't give us the same, I guess, like respect. And that is like they're more worried about the bikinis and all the other ones, as opposed to us. We're just kind of like, yeah, y'all are here, but man, it makes it hard. That's how I feel.
yeah. I totally understand where you're coming from, and I feel that same way. And
We're not everybody's cup of tea because we're just, we're not the bikini,
yeah,
but we're bodybuilders.
exactly. That's bodybuilding. You're supposed to be building up your body, and yeah, no, totally, yeah. So
And
yeah,
if they're thinking it's going in a wrong direction, then the judges can remedy that by scoring people differently and changing it if they're feeling it's getting out of hand.
yeah.
That's my opinion.
I agree with you on that. Yeah, no, totally. That is up to the judges ultimately, and
Yes. If they
yeah,
want to change it, they're the ones that can change it. So
yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah. Would you consider being working as a judge, or would you ever do that, do you think?
I would love that. That would be awesome. I would. That would be fun.
Yeah, especially just with the breadth of um or of work that you've done in bodybuilding. I think, you've seen so much changes for the sport too. So I think that would be cool.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I talked about it earlier, but how old are you?
I am 55. I will be 56 in July.
Wow, that's awesome. Wow, very cool. Yeah, you look great. I think bodybuilding's like fountain of youth.
I think so. I definitely think so.
I just have one more question for you. And I was just curious if you ever have to deal with like a fit shaming type thing on social media, or just people being mean, trolls and stuff, on specifically on social media.
I actually haven't had that.
Really?
Luckily, yes, I actually haven't.
That's
I guess that's, um, I don't know if it's a downfall of mine or not, but I guess, I'm not huge on social media. Maybe I should be more or whatever. Like some, like I think with my Masters Nationals and then I posted kind of more, but um, I just don't. I don't know why. It's like I don't like pictures of myself.
Oh, really?
It's
Oh, wow.
terrible. I know it's like I need to be better at that, but I don't post as much, and so I think that may be a reason I don't get it. I'm not sure.
Oh no. Okay, I understand that. Yeah.
Yes,
Um,
I don't know, being older, I'm not on it as much. So
oh yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. The young people are kind of like raised on it. I think, they just kind of
they are and better at it. And it's like I don't know shit, it's like I guess I feel awkward, I guess maybe posting, sort of kinda.
really? Yeah, I understand that. You got to get your daughters to help you.
I need to, like, help me, let's do this.
Uh-huh.
Make mama look
Uh-huh.
good.
It would be interesting too to post like your teen nationals pics up on Instagram to kind of like show where you've come from and such.
I probably should do that. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, we were talking about your maiden name at the time was Meads, right? So if Vicky Mead,
Correct.
Meads.
Correct.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna look up pictures of you because after talking with you and looking at you, I think I have seen pictures of you back from way back when. So
If if you look at it, I had blonde hair, not red.
blonde
Red
hair.
is coming up to gray.
Oh yeah, I understand.
So,
Yeah.
yes, but yeah, they say my face looks somewhat similar.
Oh, very cool. Oh, I'm sure you do. Yeah, definitely. No, I'll
Um,
definitely look that up. I think that's awesome though that you had such a long career in the sport and still sticking with it too. So that's great.
it's my addiction. It's like, I guess, my therapy. I love working out. I love being in the gym that you can change your body, but I just feel so much better. I don't so active. I just think it keeps you younger. It keeps you able to move and stuff like that. And like I said, me and my husband, if I don't work out, I feel like I can't sleep. Um, I just don't feel good if I don't do something.
Sure, I understand that. Yeah. No, I think it's good that you're doing it and sticking with it for sure. So, um, well, that's all the questions I have. Thank you so much, Vicky, for joining me. And like I said, I'll try to get this posted probably tomorrow morning, and I'll tag you. Um, did you say this is your first interview like this that you've done?
I'm the first ever, so I was kind of nervous.
Oh no, you did great. I didn't. Yeah, no. And I think some of these other podcasters have to talk to you too, because you are really cool to speak with for sure.
Well, I appreciate that so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
It was
And
my
best
pleasure.
thank you. Yeah. Best wishes finding a coach and best wishes on your next show too.
I thank you so very much.
And maybe women's bodybuilding. I'm all for that. So I think that would be cool.
I would love to get an opinion, but I just, like I said, just after looking and me and my husband looking at it, we're just like, that just makes sense. Like I said, I think I'm on the top end of women's physique. And like I said, I know I'm not as big as the bodybuilders, but I just think my physique, my structure fits women's bodybuilding more closely in just in us looking at it. But I would love to get a coach say, hey, this is what, what they think.
Yeah, that's true. That would be good to get their advice too. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and
good.
I'd be okay if they think I should go there, then I'll go there, and wherever they stick me there, I'm good.
Yeah, I got you. I think that's great. Yeah. Well, thanks again, Vicky. And thank you for your time and best wishes to you.
Thank you so much. It was great talking with you.
Thank you. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.